Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. So, as you might be able to hear in the background, there are some fireworks being set off to celebrate the 4th of July, even though I am recording this a couple days after the 4th. There is still some of that going on, and that makes it a really strange time to want to come on and record this video. But I was just feeling a lot of powerful energy coming through and also just feeling this kind of peaceful vibe that I wanted to share with all of you, especially those of you who might be in a difficult, challenging, or emotional place tonight as of Saturday evening, at least here where I am on the planet. I know that it might be Sunday where you are, or it could be a different time of the day. But as I always say here on this channel, time, space, and distance are really irrelevant when it comes to energy. So wherever you are present here and actively co-creating all of the messages and everything that wants to come through this video. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be talking about today, so I am just going to be sharing some thoughts that might resonate with someone who is out there listening. And it's my only goal through all of this content to help you to reconnect more consciously with your own inner guidance, because it's really your intuition that is the compass of your life experience. So I set the intention that through whatever comes out of this video, it helps you to feel more confident in what you know for yourself. And a major theme that's been coming up collectively recently, especially because I know that many of you out there listening are creating or sharing in the public eye, or if not in the literal public eye, there is something that you're doing that is highly visible, or that is going to be highly visible and very felt or perceived in some sense. And so a major theme that's been coming up around this is the fear of being seen. And the fear of being seen authentically, specifically for who you really are, and allowing yourself to peel back the layers and share that authenticity with others. Because ironically, while so many people on the planet deep down are craving that raw, authentic connection and that authenticity that they can sense from you and from your creations, authenticity itself can also be extremely polarizing. And we often see this in people that we think of as celebrities or public figures who are well known in the physical world, because very often, yes, they are considered to be powerful people, but they are also considered to be very polarizing. People tend to have strong opinions about them one way or the other. And regardless of whether you are someone who is creating in the public eye or who feels guided to create and share in that specific way, irrespective of that, you are emanating this powerful frequency that is felt, and it elicits a reaction. Your energy doesn't go unfelt or unresponded to, in a sense. And I feel that someone I'm picking up on here at times has in the past, or maybe even sometimes still, will try to dilute themselves or filter themselves to some degree, because there is this intuitive knowing that you are going to elicit these polarizing reactions from other people with your authenticity. So this next stage of your spiritual journey, of your life journey as it's been unfolding, has been about you sharing your, what we call here, core soul frequency, or your authentic self with the world in a way that is more visible and more perceptible and more felt by others in whatever sense that means for you. There was a time where you were being prepared for this stage. So during this time, you were in a sense shielded or maybe protected from being as exposed or as seen or as visible. This may have very much felt like a hermiting mode for you, where you were very much turned inward on yourself, where you may have during that time even felt a bit like you were drifting through life or not fully visible to the people around you. But during this time, something powerful was happening, which is, I'm almost envisioning this actual encirclement of like a shield around you or protection around you energetically, where others may not have been able to perceive you as clearly. In fact, even people that you may have known or connected with in the past may have felt as though you just completely dropped out of their reality. You may have lost a lot of friends during this time. You may have felt like you weren't really belonging or fitting in anywhere in the world and spending a lot of time alone. But during this period of time, again, the powerful thing taking place is you were essentially tuning yourself very clearly to the frequency of who you are at the core, and everything else, all of the layers, all of the superficiality, all of the subconscious programming, the limiting belief systems, all of that was slowly unraveling and being peeled back. But you reached a point, and I feel for many of you who have found and aligned with this video, this point was something that you most likely reached relatively recently, where something flipped and you had fully completed that process of peeling back the layers, of getting really in touch with who you are at the core. Maybe even during that time, you may have been refining or honing in on certain skills or abilities, specific talents or gifts that you are now going to be sharing with the world in a stronger way. Now, what has flipped is you are now meant to be being revealed in a sense to others in a way that is either more visible, more public, or something that is more strongly felt and consciously registered by other people. So this, of course, is going to look very different from one person to the next. But for example, you may suddenly feel guided to share more of your art, more of your music. You might feel guided to share yourself in the public eye in some sense. So this could be performing, this could be building a business, pursuing some kind of goal or dream. And I keep getting something about time limitation as well, and how your ego might try to step in and question this guidance that you've been feeling to share yourself more publicly or fully with the world by telling you that you're too late to something, or that you waited too long, or that because you are this or that age that you can no longer do this thing or pursue this dream or whatever it is for you. And again, this won't be relevant for everyone, but if that's been coming up for you, I feel that is something that you are being called to address and release within yourself, to no longer give in to that limited programming, which is essentially a subconscious program that we are implanted with by society that tells us that there are these time restrictions or limitations on our dreams or goals. And in fact, if you've been feeling some of these fears around timing coming up for you, what that means is you are being given the opportunity to clear those fear blockages, not just for yourself, but for the entire collective as well. Meaning, as you pave a new pathway here, you actually show the way to others as well. And I don't know why, but I'm feeling so much emotion coming through about this, especially for a specific group that I'm channeling here. And that's why I really felt guided to share this message. It's really interesting as well that the fireworks were going off at the beginning of this video. And when I think of fireworks, I think of just this explosion of energy. I think of something beautiful, something celebratory, but something that is also very loud. And I know that's kind of a blunt way of putting it, but I feel that in a sense, your energy is meant to be very loud. It's meant to be making this kind of explosive impact that, again, other people observe and see. But in connection with that, there is also this sense of this being a really celebratory time in your life. And to kind of tie this in, it's interesting to me that this is coming up around the 4th of July here in the US. Now, I know that many of you are tuning in from different places all over the world, and it's such a beautiful thing that we have so many people part of this community from all over the planet. But specifically in the United States, of course, the 4th of July is celebrating independence and our freedom as a country. But taken more symbolically, I feel that what is being celebrated here for you is some kind of spiritual, mental, or emotional freedom. So I'm literally seeing someone breaking chains or breaking shackles of some kind. And I feel that someone I'm speaking to here has recently broken free from something or someone, if this was some kind of negative, toxic dynamic or relationship or something in your life. But this also could have been just in a more general sense that you've freed yourself mentally and emotionally. And I feel that this freedom was something that only you could have given to yourself, and you've done that for yourself. So there's almost this sense from your spirit guides, your higher self, the universe, whatever divine forces you personally label or connect with, there is this sense of a higher energy coming in and saying, it's time to celebrate how far you've come and how much you've freed yourself and what you've done for yourself here. And there is also another message about not re-enslaving yourself to something, not re-enslaving yourself to an ideology or a person or a limiting belief system or something from your past. Especially if there's something from your past that once mentally or emotionally enslaved you that you felt a heavy sense of obligation towards, but that felt very out of alignment with what you know you came here to be, do, create, or embody as a soul. So I know we're leaving that a little open-ended, and you might connect with that in your own personal way. But it's interesting because, well, you guys know I like to kind of look up repeating numbers or symbols or signs as they are channeled in these readings. And fireworks can also create a feeling of awe and wonder and can symbolize the fulfillment of your desires. So for someone very specific that I'm speaking to here, you either may have just now or recently manifested something really powerful worth celebrating into your life. And if not, this might be a sign that you are right on the brink of that kind of manifestation. It's interesting. I just got another download around unity and freedom. So that word unity, it's almost this joining together or collaborating in a sense of freedom. This isn't hyper independence in terms of loneliness. In fact, I feel that there was a phase you went through where you were more lonely, more isolated, more hyper independent. But now there is this sense of allowing in support, connection, and collaboration in this era of freedom. So this freedom that you're embracing, yes, it might involve releasing some kind of toxic or negative dynamic person or thing from your past, but it's not hyper independence in the sense of isolation. It's also about allowing yourself to open up to new energy and new support. And of course, this kind of brings us full circle because that new support can't really be fully allowed in unless you are also letting yourself be seen in some way, be seen for who you really are. It kind of reminds me of that cliche around being who you are so the right people can find you and recognize you. And I almost feel as though someone I'm speaking to here was in that phase for so long where you were being intentionally isolated for the purpose of clearing out all of those beliefs that you may have picked up through your upbringing, your programming, your childhood, people around you, etc. During that phase, there was a level of isolation necessary where you may have developed hyper-independent tendencies, but now the phase is shifting. And so the way you've been operating has to change as well. And so there's almost this message coming through in connection with that of allowing yourself to reevaluate the way you've been operating specifically when it comes to connection, collaboration, and being seen by others. Because the way that you were guided to operate during that phase where you were intentionally needing to go within yourself and isolate, the way you were operating then in this mode of hyper independence, really closing off to the world, might actually be holding you back now from experiencing a lot of that manifestation of powerful connections, people, and collaborations that want to come into your life to support you and connect with you and create a sense of community with you as well. Now, again, this could be as simple as sharing something that you're doing more publicly online, putting it out there into the world so that people who relate to your content or your creations can gravitate towards them. But this also could be as specific as allowing a new friend or possibly business collaboration or person into your life who wants to authentically see you and connect with you and support you. So, of course, it could be hyper specific or very general or anything in between. But I feel that's been the strongest message that's coming through tonight. And for whatever reason, I really wanted to get on to record this because I feel someone specifically needed to hear this tonight. So if this message has been connecting, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. Let me know how it resonates for you personally. I am going to be pulling a final Rumi Oracle card. Rumi is one of the most profound poets that I've come across, and I really love reading from the Rumi guidebook to close out these videos because I feel there's such an uplifting, high vibrational energy there. So I'm going to be shuffling for a card, but I also want to share with you my personal most powerful tool for manifesting in my own life. And these are subliminals. So I first started meditating with subliminals several years ago, long before I started this channel. And I found that very quickly I began to feel much more positive, much more self-loving, self-confident, and gradually this shift in energy began to reflect out into every area of my life. So I would say, of all the manifestation tools I use and have used, subliminals have consistently been the most effective and powerful tool in transforming my own life, which is why I still meditate with my own subliminals every single day, which I'm now sharing with you through my app, Sound and Soulful. So on the screen, you can see I'm just showing you around this app a little bit. You can listen to any subliminal I've created through the app in 10 different background sound options. You can create your own custom private playlists, and you can even read the affirmations while you are listening. For those of you who are new to subliminals, they are audio meditation tracks that contain unconscious spoken affirmations. So essentially, you won't be able to fully hear clearly the affirmations while you are listening. And this helps them to bypass the conscious filter of your mind and make deeper, more lasting impressions on the subconscious mind. So this is why I believe subliminals have been so powerful and effective for me. And I know that many of you have been benefiting from them as well. And thank you so much to all of you who have left positive reviews in the App Store. But anyway, you can try out my Subliminals app completely free for 7 days by following the link that I'll be leaving in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Specifically for this reading, if you're just getting started with my app, I would really recommend my Subliminal for 7 chakra energy clearing. This is one that I use on and off on a daily basis because it's a really comprehensive, all-encompassing energy clearing tool to help you shift into a more positive, confident mindset and state of being to become magnetic for more positive outcomes in your life as well. So the link to download my app and explore the subliminals I've created for essentially every area of life is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay, so I'm going to just pull one final card. Well, I guess 2 cards are actually coming out here. And the 2 cards here are Divine Mother Manifests and Star Mother Arrakis. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the guidebook here. And the guidebook says, "O you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards." Rumi. And the guidebook also says, "This oracle comes to you via the sacred grace and mercy of the Divine Mother, who is the great manifesting expression of divinity. All that is created, all that is made manifest without exception, flows from her being. This is why it is safe to trust in life, even, most especially, the inexplicable mystery and even the darkness that may give rise to fear and judgment within us. It is all part of her unfathomable workings." And the guidebook also says, "No matter whether or not things appear to be working out, they are. You are being held in loving protection to keep you from straying from your highest path and divine destiny. There is work for you to do upon this planet in your own unique way. It is the work of love." So that feels like a really beautiful place to close this reading. Thank you so much again for tuning in today. If you do resonate with my energy, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And of course, If you do feel interested in checking out my Subliminals app, the link to download the app is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. I am sending you all so much love today. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your Saturday and weekend. And as always, I will connect with you here again in the next video.